Welcome back everyone to Mona's Take. I am your host Mona Rose and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything we have coming up. Today's video is going to be on Real Housewives of New Jersey Reunion Part 2. We also have some casting rumors that are out there that we're going to talk about. And we're also going to have, I'm also going to talk about some interviews that I've seen this week about what's going to happen next year on Real Housewives. People are acting on a whole nother level on that. So can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo. Mood of the day. Really? You got to give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Alright, let's jump right in. Okay, rumors are swirling around that Jackie is going to be demoted. Now, she hasn't really had all that great of storyline. I guess last year was the whole cheating rumor. This year she did talk about her anorexia, her eating disorder. But she is one that she doesn't back down from Teresa either. So we can always count on a little bit of drama there between her and Teresa, because she doesn't take Teresa's crap. Which is nice, because it's only her and Margaret. Everybody else seems to just take all the crap that they need to get, it's Teresa's show. So I'm a little disappointed that this is true. On the other hand, it may be something that Jackie is wanting. If she is at the stage of her recovery, that maybe she just needs to take a back seat for a little while, maybe go part-time. That would help her with her recovery. We all know how stressful it is when they film this stuff. So if she's part-time, I think that opens her up a little bit more to receive more of the treatment and therapy that she needs to be 100%. She's looking really good at the reunion. Andy did ask her if she had gained some weight, and a lot of people, this is controversial. Like, you should never ask a woman if she's gained weight, or, yeah, that's just rude, this and that. But Jackie took it as a compliment. And she said, I want to thank you for asking that question. She said, because I feel like inside that I've gained a whole bunch of weight and that it's very noticeable. So for you to ask me if I've gained weight, it makes me feel a little bit better about where I'm at. That I don't look to everyone else the way my head tells me that I look. So that was nice. So we'll see. I haven't heard yet anything about Tracy Barber coming back. If she's still going to be a friend or whatever. There is 3 new women that they're supposed to be trying out. But, Dolores and Margaret have made a point. It's very hard to infiltrate this group. All of the other housewives that they have 8, 10, or not 10, they have 8. I think Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has 8 women. And they've been able to add women over the years. Real Housewives of Atlanta, we've seen new women added. Some of them stay, some of them don't. New Jersey is very hard because that's a core group and most of them grew up together. And they've been doing this for 12 years now, 13 years. So we'll see how the new girls work out. One of them is supposed to be a friend of Teresa's. One of them is supposed to be a friend of Margaret's. And one of them is supposed to be a friend of Jennifer's, that they're trying out for next season. We'll see how that goes. The reunion, you have to excuse me, my allergies. The reunion started out where we left off, where Teresa called Joe a bitch boy. And he said, that's it, I'm done, I quit. I'm moving on. He walked off stage. Andy said, look, he's here because we want him here. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. That's what we're asking him to do. You know, he has a contract. He's obligated. We don't want him going anywhere. You need to go get your brother. You need to apologize. So then it shows Joe walking through where all the guys are. And he's saying, why don't you be a sister once in a while, you effing moron. We see that the other Joe follows him back in the dressing room to check on him. The rest of them were just like, what's going on? He does tell Louis, don't you go out there, don't you get involved in the ladies' drama. Don't you go out there and take up for Teresa. You know, don't you go out there and speak your mind, because then you're going to be a bitch. It's like, the only reason you're doing this is because of my sister, right? And Louis like, yeah. And he's like, and you're a bitch. And he walks off. Well, Louis like, what the hell just happened? So Teresa goes back there and she's apologizing to Joe. And she's like, I would never put you down. And he's like, but you just did. Well, no, I really didn't. I would never do that to you. By this point, Andy has already gotten up and went back there. And he's like, Teresa, your brother is telling you how he feels. You need to listen. So again, Andy is calling her out and saying, hey, you need to listen to how he feels. So they go back and forth. She finally apologizes. They all go and, well, while they're back there, the rest of the girls took this opportunity to have Jennifer alone on stage. And we're like, you know, you're a totally different person when you're not around Teresa. You know, we want to be friends with you. We don't want to fight with you. We like you when you're not around Teresa. You're a decent person. You're funny. You're this, you're that. So they took this opportunity to talk to Jennifer one-on-one without Teresa being there. And it's true. I think that Jen puts on a front anytime Teresa's around. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. She puts up a front every time Teresa's around, and she's like, I've got to be her lapdog. I got to take care of things. I've got to be this badass. I got to be mean to them so that Teresa will like me. And I honestly think that's a lot of what it is. So Melissa says that, you know, Louis argued with the women. He argued with Margaret. What was it he said to her? Even on your best day, you can't intimidate me. I'm not here to audition for Margaret. You know, when Margaret walked away after the argument with her and Teresa on the finale, Margaret's walking away, and he says very condescending, thank you, have a good night, or whatever. So he has argued with the women, and yet Joe's the one that's a bitch boy because he's getting involved in stuff. That's what he's paid to do. He's paid to be on that show. He is paid. He's contractually obligated to bring it. To which Margaret says, yeah, he told me I didn't intimidate him on my best day. That's not aggressive. Let's see. I already covered that. Teresa's still going off about Margaret. Margaret's the one that started these rumors. Margaret's the one that brought all this out. Yada, yada, yada. And Andy tells her again, look, even if this stuff hadn't come out, even if Marge hadn't talked about it on the show, he said, I was going to ask the same questions that she's been asking all season. He said, I asked you last year at the reunion about some stuff that was out. I would have done the same thing. He's like, Margaret did not do this. He's taken up for Margaret. He's taken up for Joe. It seems to me that Andy is taken up for anybody that Teresa has gone against this season. Joe tells her that he needs to quit. She needs to quit putting him down. He's tired of it. He's done. Whenever Andy said, your brother's trying to tell you how you feel, how he feels, you need to listen. Joe's response was, I've tried to talk to you for 11 years. So 11 years is what they've been on the show. So they squash things for the moment. Everybody gets back on set. Most of this happened back off set. When they get back on set, we find out that Frank is living with David. So evidently, since Dolores has gotten this new boyfriend, he didn't like the idea of him living in the same house with her. So he moved in with David. I'm suspecting that that's probably what's causing a little bit of problems between Polly, the new boyfriend, and Frank, the ex. It's because Frank is still good friends with Dolores' ex, David. And that's a fresh cut. That's something that hasn't been over with very long. So we'll see how this goes. From what I'm hearing, Paulie is with Dolores all the time. He wants to be a part of everything. I'm still hoping that that doesn't mean they're going to push Frank out. We shall see. But that may be a storyline for next year. For Dolores is Paulie versus Frank. We'll see. And it also came out that David is seeing Louis' ex. Teresa and Jennifer go right into defense mode. Well, it's not any of the exes that filed the lawsuit. It's not any of those. Teresa says, it's just somebody he was talking to for a couple of months. He quit talking to her when he met me. And that's still an ex. If you're seeing somebody and you stop seeing someone, that's still an ex. Teresa says, yet again, she brings it up again, that Margaret is the one that's putting everything out there. About Louis, and Andy says it was out there at the time of the last reunion. The girls want to bury him. Teresa responded, yeah, because he's with me. Then she stands up and says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Teresa Giudice. And she's spinning around and doing a little twirl. So she's saying the only reason they're coming after him is because he's with her and she's this big star and they're wanting their 15 minutes of fame. When she did that, Margaret was like, wow. I was like, are you kidding me? Sit your ass down. I'm sorry, you guys can see I am so tired of Teresa and everything that goes along with her. Okay, we got that. Jackie talks about her eating disorder and how she sees herself, how scared she was of food. She talks about that it was very hard for her to talk about it on the show, but that she felt like she had to because she didn't want other people to think they were alone. You know, she did it so that people would know to get help. You don't have to fight this alone. There's people around you that will help you get the help you need. Margaret says that Jackie has talked to her in depth about her eating disorder. And Margaret said that she can see that she's come a long way. She was asked if she talked to Evan about it, and she said not about everything. And Andy was like, you know, Evan's there for you. He wants to help you. He's very loving. He's very concerned. We see that come through on the screen. So why not talk to him? And she says, because it's embarrassing. She said, some of the things that I do is embarrassing, and I don't want to say it to him. So evidently she's been talking to Margaret a lot about her eating disorder, which is good because at least she has someone that she can vent to. They go from there and they start talking about Teresa fat shaming or body shaming Margaret. And Teresa said she wasn't fat shaming Margaret, that she took it the wrong way. The two things that she said was Margaret never misses a meal, and her ass wouldn't jiggle like that if she was wearing my leggings. How else do you take those two things? How do you take them? They're insults. And Teresa, in true Teresa fashion, well, that's not what I meant. I meant she got to eat the night before and I didn't. That's not what I meant. My leggings, I designed them so that your butt doesn't jiggle. That's what I was talking about. I didn't mean it as an insult. Bullshit. Every word of that was meant as an insult. I swear Teresa is delusional. The woman about everything. She makes no sense. She is delusional. So we go from there, and Jennifer brought props. And she's telling Andy it's only going to take a couple minutes. He's like, we don't have a couple minutes. Let's get this going. We got to move on. So she brings up these big blow-ups of the whole Instagram, Twitter war, whatever it was, between her and Melissa Gorga, that she called them crooks because of the stuff Melissa said. I guess Melissa posted pictures of her plastic surgery or something. I still don't understand the whole thing, but it took place. And so she's saying this wouldn't have been said if this wasn't said. This wouldn't have been said if that wasn't said. And Melissa's like, what are you talking about? It's a what did she say? I think she said internet war or something like that. She's like, that's what you do. And Andy is just like, this is more exhausting than ever. You can tell that he is just so frustrated with the girls because he can't get any questions in because they just keep going back and forth. So during this, Melissa's yelling at Jennifer, Jennifer's yelling at Melissa, Teresa's yelling and Margaret's yelling, and they're all going back and forth. And Andy stands up and he yells, oh, you women are talking at once. Shut up. And I mean, you could just see the frustration with him. And all of the women are like wide-eyed, like, ooh, Andy's never been like that before. You know, wow. So that's where it ended. I thought we would have the guys on this. I thought Tuesday night that the guys would end up coming on at some point. And they never did. So I guess that's what the third part of the reunion is going to be, is with all of the guys. So I don't think we're going to get a whole lot. But I am very eager to see Louis' response to Andy's questions. I'm looking forward to that. Dolores has done a couple of interviews, one with her new man, Polly, and I don't know if it's just me, but Dolores just looks different. Like, she's just glowing. She looks happy, and I hope this works out. I really do, because other than David, I don't think we've seen anybody in Dolores' life other than Frank. But that being said, there's probably going to be some conflict between Polly and Frank at some point next year. They're talking about doing a special for Teresa's wedding. I don't know. If they do, I'll probably watch it just to see the fiasco that it's going to be. And actually get to see a little bit side of Louis' family. Other than that, I don't really have anything until next Tuesday on the part 3 episode. So until then, you guys have a great evening. And as always, much love.